The crystal chandelier cast dancing shadows across the marble floor of Aurelius. Manhattan's most exclusive restaurant hummed with the quiet murmur of wealth. Anna Miller sat frozen, her trembling fingers gripping the leather chair. The waiter had just placed the bill face down on their table. $107,432. Her heart hammered against her ribs like a caged bird. The number burned into her vision, refusing to disappear. Around the mahogany table sat her husband's entire family. His sister Lydia smirked, her perfectly manicured nails tapping the crystal. His mother Margaret dabbed her lips with a silk napkin. His father Robert leaned back, swirling his third glass of Dom Perignon. Her husband Michael avoided her desperate gaze entirely. They all stared at Anna like she was their personal savior. Like paying was the most natural thing in the world. Lydia's voice cut through the tension like a blade. "Oh, sister-in-law, you've got this, right?" The words hung in the air, dripping with entitled expectation. Anna's throat closed, her mouth suddenly desert dry. This wasn't supposed to happen tonight. She had agreed to a simple family dinner. A celebration for Lydia's promotion at her marketing firm. But simple had never been in this family's vocabulary. The appetizers alone cost more than Anna's monthly rent. Caviar from Russia, served on mother-of-pearl spoons. Wagyu beef flown in from Japan that morning. Wine older than Anna herself, decanted with ceremony. Each dish more extravagant than the last. Anna had watched the prices climb with growing horror. She had tried to signal Michael, squeeze his hand. He had brushed her off with a dismissive wave. "Don't worry about it, honey," he had whispered. But worry was all Anna could do now. Her checking account held exactly $3,200. Her savings account, another $8,000 she had scraped together. This bill would destroy her financially for years. Margaret cleared her throat with practiced elegance. "Anna, dear, we know you can handle this." Her smile never reached her cold gray eyes. Robert nodded, his jowls shaking with approval. "You're such a generous daughter-in-law," he rumbled. The praise felt like poison in Anna's ears. This had been their pattern for 3 long years. Every birthday, every anniversary, every holiday celebration. Anna paid, and they thanked her like gracious royalty. She had thought it would stop after marriage. Instead, it had only gotten worse. Michael's family treated her like their private bank account. Emergency car repairs for Lydia's BMW. Property taxes on Margaret and Robert's Hamptons house. Michael's student loans that he conveniently forgot to mention. Anna had paid for it all, slowly bleeding dry. Her coworkers called her generous to a fault. Her friends warned her about being taken advantage of. But Anna had believed in family loyalty. She had believed that love meant sacrifice. Tonight shattered that naive faith into a million pieces. The waiter returned, his expression politely expectant. "Will this be cash or card tonight, madam?" His question felt like a death sentence. Anna's vision blurred as panic set in. Her pulse thundered in her ears. The restaurant's elegant atmosphere suddenly felt suffocating. Crystal glasses clinked around them as other diners celebrated. But Anna felt like she was drowning in quicksand. Lydia leaned forward, her smile turning predatory. "We forgot our wallets at home tonight, sister-in-law." The lie rolled off her tongue without shame. "And our cards too, unfortunately." Margaret nodded sympathetically, clutching her Hermes purse. The same purse that held at least 4 credit cards. Anna knew because she had seen Margaret use them before. Robert adjusted his Rolex, the gold catching the light. His wallet bulged in his jacket pocket, clearly visible. Michael finally looked at her, his eyes pleading. But not pleading for forgiveness or understanding. Pleading for her to just pay and stay quiet. Like she always had before. The silence stretched between them like a chasm. Other diners began to notice their table's tension. Whispers started from the corners of the restaurant. Anna felt their curious stares burning into her back. Her hands shook as she reached for her purse. But something deep inside her finally snapped. Years of manipulation, years of financial abuse, years of being treated like a walking ATM. The rage that had been building for months finally erupted. She slammed her purse down on the table. The sound echoed through the restaurant like a gunshot. Crystal glasses rattled from the impact. Every conversation in Aurelius fell silent. All eyes turned to their table in shock. Anna stood slowly, her chair scraping against marble. Her voice, when it came, was deadly quiet. Number. The single word hung in the air like thunder. Lydia's smirk faltered for the first time all evening. Margaret's fork clattered against her plate. Robert's face turned an alarming shade of purple. Michael reached for her arm, but Anna stepped back. Her decision was made, her line finally drawn. Tonight, the Miller family's personal ATM was officially closed. The waiter shifted uncomfortably, sensing the brewing storm. Anna's heart pounded, but her resolve never wavered. 3 years of financial manipulation ended here, in Manhattan's most exclusive restaurant, surrounded by New York's elite. The reckoning had finally begun. 3 years ago, Anna Miller believed she had found her fairy tale. The coffee shop on Fifth Avenue buzzed with morning energy. Steam rose from her laptop as she coded another software update. Then Mark walked in, laptop bag slung over his shoulder. His smile lit up the entire room like sunshine. He was brilliant, funny, and completely different from other men. A software engineer with kind eyes and gentle hands. Their first conversation lasted 4 hours over cold coffee. He talked about algorithms while she shared her dreams. By their third date, Anna knew she was falling hard. Mark seemed perfect in every possible way. He brought her flowers every Friday without fail. He remembered her favorite Thai restaurant and her coffee order. He listened when she talked about work stress. For the first time in years, Anna felt truly loved. 6 months later, Mark introduced her to his family. The Miller family lived in a sprawling Westchester mansion. Margaret Miller greeted Anna with perfectly manicured arms wide open. Her smile seemed warm, her embrace surprisingly genuine. Robert Miller shook Anna's hand with businessman confidence. Lydia bounced over like an excited golden retriever. Finally, a sister I can actually talk to, she squealed. The family dinner felt like a movie scene. Crystal chandeliers cast romantic light over the dining room. Margaret served homemade lasagna on china plates from Italy. Robert poured wine from his personal collection downstairs. Lydia chatted about her marketing job with infectious enthusiasm. Mark squeezed Anna's hand under the mahogany table. "See how much they love you already?" he whispered. Anna's heart swelled with unexpected belonging. She had never experienced such welcoming family warmth before. Her own parents had died in a car accident. She had grown up in foster care systems. Family had always been a distant dream for her. Now she felt like she had finally found home. Margaret called her our lucky charm that night. "You bring such joy to our Mark," she said. Robert nodded approvingly from his leather chair. "You're exactly what this family needed," he agreed. Lydia hugged Anna goodbye with sisterly affection. "Can't wait for our next girls' day together," she said. Anna drove home that night feeling absolutely euphoric. Mark's family had accepted her completely and unconditionally. She started planning their future together immediately. Wedding venues, baby names, holiday traditions. Everything seemed perfect in her new world. But perfection never lasts as long as hoped. The first crack appeared 2 months later. Margaret called Anna directly, bypassing Mark entirely. "Sweetheart, I hate to ask, but we have an emergency." Her voice trembled with what sounded like genuine distress. Robert needed surgery, and insurance wouldn't cover everything. Could Anna possibly lend them $5,000 temporarily? Anna's savings account held exactly $8,000 total. But family helped family during medical emergencies. She transferred the money within the hour. Margaret cried tears of gratitude over the phone. "You're an angel sent from heaven," she sobbed. Anna felt proud of her ability to help. This was what real families did for each other. Mark thanked her with dinner at their favorite restaurant. "Mom was so relieved she could barely speak," he said. Anna glowed with the warmth of family approval. 2 weeks later, Lydia texted with her own emergency. Her BMW had broken down on the highway. The repair bill was $3,500 cash only. Could Anna possibly help until payday next Friday? Anna hesitated for exactly 30 seconds, then transferred the money without asking questions. Lydia sent heart emojis and promises of immediate repayment. Friday came and went without any mention of money. Anna waited another week before gently bringing it up. Lydia acted surprised, like she had completely forgotten. "Oh my God, yes, I'll get that to you." But the money never materialized in Anna's account. Anna mentioned it to Mark over weekend breakfast. He shrugged and poured more orange juice calmly. "They don't mean harm, Anna. It's just family." His dismissive tone stung more than expected. "Family doesn't mean taking advantage," Anna replied quietly. Mark's jaw tightened with familiar defensive anger. "My family loves you like their own daughter." Anna wanted to argue but bit her tongue instead. Maybe she was being too sensitive about money. Maybe this was how loving families actually operated. The pattern continued escalating over the following months. Family dinners always ended with forgotten wallets somehow. Anna paid every single restaurant bill without complaint. Birthday celebrations, anniversary parties, holiday gatherings. The Miller family developed selective amnesia about money. Anna became their automatic payment solution for everything. Car payments, property taxes, vacation expenses. Each request came with emotional manipulation carefully crafted. Margaret would cry about financial stress and worry. Robert would mention his heart condition and medical bills. Lydia would promise repayment that never actually came. Mark would shrug off Anna's growing concerns repeatedly. "You make good money, Anna. What's the problem?" His indifference hurt worse than his family's exploitation. Anna worked 60-hour weeks as a software developer. Every dollar she earned was carefully budgeted and saved. But the Miller family treated her money like public property. Her emergency fund disappeared, dollar by dollar. Her retirement savings dwindled to practically nothing. Her dreams of homeownership faded into impossible fantasy. She became a walking ATM dispensing cash on demand. But love made her stay silent through it all. She convinced herself this was temporary financial difficulty. She told herself that real families supported each other. She believed that Mark's love was worth the sacrifice. But deep down, Anna felt hollow and used. The warm family she had dreamed of felt like a lie. Margaret's hugs felt calculated rather than genuine now. Robert's gratitude seemed rehearsed and empty. Lydia's promises became jokes between them. Mark's dismissiveness grew into complete emotional disconnection. Anna realized she had become invisible, except when paying. Her value to the Miller family was purely financial. Without her money, would they care about her at all? The question haunted her during sleepless nights alone. She was about to discover the devastating answer. Tonight's $100,000 bill would reveal everything. The mask was finally about to slip completely off. Anna's fingers danced across the keyboard with mechanical precision. The office hummed with the quiet energy of productivity. Her computer screen displayed lines of code that would revolutionize data processing. 3 monitors surrounded her workspace, like digital windows to success. Her colleagues respected her brilliant mind and unwavering professionalism. Sarah from marketing stopped by with genuine admiration. "Anna, your presentation yesterday was absolutely incredible," she said. David from the development team nodded in enthusiastic agreement. "The client was blown away by your algorithm optimization," he added. Anna smiled and accepted their praise with gracious humility. But inside, exhaustion weighed on her like lead blankets. Her success at work felt hollow and meaningless lately. Every achievement was overshadowed by financial stress at home. The Miller family had drained nearly $40,000 now. Her emergency fund had vanished into their endless needs. Her retirement account sat nearly empty and forgotten. The promotion she deserved kept slipping through her fingers. Not because she lacked talent or dedication to work, but because her mind was constantly calculating family expenses. Her phone buzzed against her desk with familiar dread. Margaret's name appeared on the bright screen again. Anna's stomach clenched with automatic anxiety and resentment. These calls never brought good news or genuine conversation. They only brought new requests for money somehow. "Hello, sweetheart." Margaret's voice dripped with false sweetness. "I hope I'm not interrupting your important work today." Anna forced brightness into her voice despite internal screaming. "Of course not, Margaret. What can I help with?" The question felt like stepping into quicksand deliberately. "Well, darling, we have a tiny little situation here." Margaret's voice carried that familiar tone of manipulation. Robert's business partner had defaulted on a crucial loan. They needed $15,000 by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, they might lose the family home to foreclosure. Anna's head pounded with increasing stress and frustration. Her savings account currently held exactly $12,000. This request would leave her completely financially vulnerable. But Margaret was already crying crocodile tears dramatically. "I wouldn't ask if we had any other options." Anna closed her eyes and transferred the money silently. Her coworkers noticed her sudden change in mood immediately. "Everything okay, Anna?" Sarah asked with genuine concern. Anna plastered on her professional smile once again. "Just some family stuff. Nothing I can't handle." The lie tasted bitter on her tongue like poison. She returned to her code with forced concentration. But the numbers on her screen blurred together meaninglessly. How could she focus on algorithms when drowning financially? Her career aspirations felt increasingly impossible to achieve. The senior developer position required complete mental dedication. But Anna's mind was constantly calculating survival expenses. Rent, groceries, utilities, gas money for commuting. Every dollar became a strategic decision for basic survival. Meanwhile, the Miller family lived in comfortable luxury. They took weekend trips to Martha's Vineyard regularly. Margaret bought designer handbags without checking price tags. Robert played golf at exclusive country clubs weekly. Lydia drove a brand new BMW through city streets, all funded indirectly by Anna's exhausted bank account. Her coworkers invited her to happy hour gatherings. Anna declined politely, claiming budget constraints repeatedly. They assumed she was saving for something important. They had no idea she was funding someone else's lifestyle. The isolation grew thicker around her each day. Work friendships suffered from her constant financial stress. She couldn't participate in office social activities anymore. Team lunches became impossible luxury expenses for her. Conference attendance was canceled due to budget limitations. Professional development courses remained pipe dreams only. Anna watched her career stagnate, while others advanced. Her talent was undeniable, but her resources were depleted. The Miller family trip to Napa Valley arrived unexpectedly. Mark announced it casually over breakfast one morning. "Mom booked us a long weekend at that vineyard." Anna's coffee cup trembled in her shaking hands. She knew exactly what this meant financially. Hotel suites, fine dining, wine tastings, spa treatments. Everything would automatically become her responsibility to fund. The family had developed selective amnesia about money. Their wallets disappeared whenever bills appeared magically. Anna had become their human credit card system. At the vineyard, the pattern repeated with clockwork precision. Dinner at the most expensive restaurant in town. Margaret ordered the chef's tasting menu without hesitation. Robert selected wine that cost more than Anna's rent. Lydia added appetizers and desserts with reckless abandon. Mark remained silent about the escalating bill total. When the waiter brought the leather folder over, the entire family turned to Anna expectantly. "Oh no," Lydia gasped with theatrical surprise. "I completely forgot my wallet back at the hotel." Margaret clutched her purse with practiced innocence. "Mine too. How silly of us all tonight." Robert patted his empty jacket pocket dramatically. "What are the odds we'd all forget simultaneously?" Anna's hands trembled as she reached for her purse. The bill totaled $847. Her checking account balance was $900 exactly. This single meal would leave her with $53 for the entire rest of the month ahead. She paid without complaint or visible emotion. But inside, her resentment burned like molten lava. Back at work Monday morning, Anna felt completely hollow. Her colleagues noticed her obvious exhaustion and stress. "Anna, you look like you need a vacation," David said. The irony wasn't lost on her tired mind. She had just returned from funding someone else's vacation. Her own needs were completely invisible to everyone, including herself most days when exhaustion overwhelmed everything. The senior developer position was posted that afternoon. Anna stared at the job description with longing. Higher salary, better benefits, creative project leadership. Everything she had worked toward for 5 years. But applying required focus and mental energy reserves. Resources that the Miller family had completely drained away. Anna's dreams felt as empty as her bank account. She was drowning in resentment while appearing successful. Her smile grew more forced with each passing day. The sweet, accommodating wife was slowly dying inside, replaced by someone bitter and exhausted beyond recognition. The Miller family had stolen more than money. They had stolen her future, her dreams, her peace. Anna realized she was living a double life. Professional success masking personal financial destruction completely. The breaking point was approaching like a freight train. She could feel it building beneath her smile. One more request. One more forgotten wallet. One more dismissive shrug from her husband, Mark. And the mask would finally shatter into pieces. The apartment felt suffocating as Anna stared at her laptop screen. Bank balance showed $237 remaining. Her paycheck wouldn't arrive for another 10 days yet. Mark sat on the couch, scrolling through his phone mindlessly. The silence between them had grown heavier each day. Anna's fingers trembled as she closed the banking website. 3 years of marriage had reduced her to financial ruin. Her dreams of homeownership had evaporated into thin air. Her retirement savings existed only as a distant memory now. The woman who once planned confidently for the future disappeared, replaced by someone constantly calculating survival expenses desperately. Anna turned toward her husband with growing desperation. "Mark, we need to talk about your family immediately." Her voice cracked with exhaustion and barely controlled emotion. Mark didn't look up from his glowing phone screen. "What about them, Anna? They love you completely." His dismissive tone ignited the anger building inside her. "Love doesn't drain someone's bank account to zero." Mark finally glanced up with irritated annoyance crossing his face. "Here we go again with your money complaints." Anna's heart shattered at his casual cruelty and indifference. "Money complaints, Mark. This is our financial survival." She pulled up their shared budget spreadsheet with shaking hands. "Look at these numbers and tell me this is sustainable." Red highlighted every month where his family had taken money. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Not a single month had passed without their interference. Mark glanced at the screen for exactly 3 seconds. "My family goes through tough times, Anna. They need help." Anna's voice rose with 3 years of suppressed frustration. "What about our tough times? What about my needs?" Mark shrugged, like her concerns were completely insignificant and meaningless. "You make good money, Anna. What's the big deal exactly?" The casual dismissal hit her like a physical blow. Anna stared at the man she had once loved completely. When had he become so callous toward her feelings? When had his family's needs become more important than hers? I work 60 hours a week, Mark, for what? Tears began streaming down her cheeks without permission or control. So your mother can buy designer handbags with my money. Mark's jaw tightened with familiar defensive anger and resentment. Don't talk about my mother like that, Anna. His protective instinct toward Margaret stung worse than expected. Where's your protective instinct toward your wife, Mark? The question hung in the air like smoke. Mark shifted uncomfortably on the leather couch cushions. You're being dramatic again, Anna, as usual lately. Anna laughed bitterly through her streaming tears and frustration. Dramatic, Mark, I'm drowning and you don't even care. She wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. Your sister texted me today asking for car payments. Mark's expression didn't change at this latest revelation. Lydia's going through a rough patch right now, Anna. Anna's voice dropped to a dangerous whisper of rage. We're all going through rough patches, Mark, that's life. She stood up and walked toward the window slowly. But your family treats me like their personal bank account. Mark followed her with reluctant steps and obvious annoyance. They don't treat you like anything, Anna. They're grateful. Anna spun around to face him with blazing eyes. Grateful, Mark. They've never repaid a single borrowed dollar. The truth hung between them like a sword. Mark's face flushed red with embarrassment and defensive anger. Family doesn't keep score about money, Anna. That's petty. Anna's voice broke with the weight of betrayal. Then what am I to you, Mark, really? She searched his face for any sign of understanding. Am I your wife or your family's wallet? The question pierced the air like lightning during storms. Mark's mouth opened and closed without producing sound. He couldn't meet her desperate, pleading gaze directly. Anna, that's not fair to ask me that. His avoidance spoke louder than any words could have. Anna felt her heart breaking into irreparable pieces. Not fair, Mark. What's not fair is this marriage. She gestured around their modest apartment with growing anger. I can't afford groceries, but your mother needs spa days. Mark ran his hands through his hair with obvious frustration. Anna, please just stop making this so difficult always. The word difficult hit her like a sledgehammer blow. I'm making this difficult, Mark. Are you serious right now? Anna's voice rose to near shouting levels of emotional intensity. Your family has stolen our entire future together completely. Mark's eyes flashed with sudden anger and family loyalty. They haven't stolen anything, Anna. Stop being so selfish. The word selfish echoed in the small apartment space. Anna stared at her husband in complete shock. Selfish, Mark, for wanting to keep my own salary. Her voice dropped to a whisper of disbelief. For wanting a husband who protects me instead of exploiting me. Mark's face went pale at her accusation of exploitation. Anna, I would never exploit you. That's completely unfair. Anna laughed bitterly at his denial of obvious reality. You let them exploit me, Mark. Which is worse. She walked toward their bedroom with heavy, defeated steps. At least they're honest about using me for money. Mark followed her with panic in his voice now. Anna, where are you going? Don't walk away from me. She paused at the bedroom door without turning around. I'm going to bed, Mark, alone tonight as usual. Her voice carried the weight of 3 years' disappointment. Maybe you can call your mother for emotional support. The bedroom door closed with finality between them. Mark stood alone in the living room silence. For the first time, he heard the echo of his choices. Anna lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Her marriage felt like a business transaction gone wrong. She was the investor, they were the beneficiaries. But she had never agreed to this arrangement. Tomorrow, she would demand real change or real consequences. The sweet, accommodating wife had finally reached her limit. Mark's choice would determine their future together or apart. The cracks in their marriage had become irreparable chasms. Only honesty and change could bridge them now. But Anna wasn't holding her breath for miracles anymore. The restaurant seemed to hold its breath as silence stretched. Anna stared at the leather folder containing their financial destruction. $107,432. The number pulsed in her vision like a neon sign. Lydia's smirk widened as she watched Anna's frozen expression. "Oh, sister-in-law, we left our wallet at home tonight." Her voice dripped with entitled expectation and practiced manipulation. "And our cards too, unfortunately," she added with false sweetness. Margaret nodded sympathetically while clutching her designer Hermes purse. The same purse Anna knew contained at least 4 credit cards. Robert adjusted his Rolex watch with obvious impatience and annoyance. His wallet bulged visibly in his expensive suit jacket pocket. Mark avoided Anna's desperate gaze like a guilty child. The waiter shifted uncomfortably beside their table, sensing brewing tension. Other diners had begun glancing over with curious interest. Anna's hands trembled as she processed their familiar betrayal. 3 years of manipulation had led to this moment. 3 years of being treated like their personal ATM. The sweet, accommodating wife was about to die tonight. Anna's chair scraped against marble as she stood slowly. The sound echoed through Aurelius like a gunshot warning. Every conversation in the restaurant fell completely silent. Crystal glasses stopped clinking. Silverware ceased moving entirely. All eyes turned toward their table with growing anticipation. Anna's voice, when it came, shattered the oppressive silence. "Number." The single word hung in the air like thunder. Lydia's confident smirk faltered for the first time tonight. "Excuse me, Anna, what did you just say?" Her voice carried shock and disbelief at this unexpected resistance. Anna's hands stopped trembling as rage replaced fear completely. "I said no, Lydia. I'm not paying this bill." Margaret's fork clattered against her china plate with surprise. "Anna, dear, surely you don't mean that seriously." Her voice carried the patronizing tone of assumed authority. Anna turned toward her mother-in-law with blazing eyes. "I mean every single word, Margaret. Absolutely seriously." Robert's face turned an alarming shade of purple with anger. "Anna, this is completely inappropriate behavior for public display." His businessman authority cracked under Anna's defiant stare. "Inappropriate, Robert, like stealing 40,000 from your daughter-in-law." The accusation hung in the air like poison gas. Mark finally looked up with panic in his eyes. "Anna, please just sit down and let's discuss this." His weak plea only fueled her volcanic rage further. "Discuss what, Mark? How your family treats me like garbage?" Her voice rose above the restaurant's shocked whisper level. Other diners were openly staring now with fascination. Some had pulled out phones to record the drama. Anna didn't care about their judgment or social embarrassment. The mask had finally shattered into irreparable pieces tonight. "For 3 years, I've been your walking ATM machine." Her voice carried across the restaurant like a battle cry. Medical bills, car repairs, property taxes, vacation expenses. Each item felt like a weight lifted from her shoulders. "I paid for everything while you lived in luxury." Margaret's face went white, with social humiliation and shock. "Anna, lower your voice immediately. People are watching us." Anna laughed bitterly at her concern for public appearances. "Let them watch, Margaret. Let them see the truth." She gestured around the elegant restaurant with wild abandon. "See how the Miller family operates their financial scheme." Lydia stood up with indignant anger and family pride. "How dare you accuse us of scheming, Anna?" Her voice shook with rage and wounded entitlement completely. Anna stepped closer to her sister-in-law without backing down. "How dare I, Lydia? How dare you all?" The confrontation electrified the restaurant's atmosphere with tension. "You've stolen my future, my dreams, my financial security." Robert attempted to restore order with businessman authority. "Anna, you're making a scene that will embarrass everyone." Anna whirled toward him with years of suppressed fury. "I'm not your bank, Robert. Pay your own bills." The words erupted from her like molten lava. "Pay your own damn bill for once in your lives." The profanity shocked the elegant restaurant into complete silence. Margaret gasped with horror at Anna's public outburst. Anna Miller, how dare you use such language here? Anna's laughter bordered on hysteria and complete emotional breakdown. Anna Miller, Margaret, that's the problem, right there, exactly. She grabbed her purse from the table with decisive action. I'm not a Miller, I'm a victim. Mark reached for her arm with desperate panic. Anna, please don't do this here, not like this. She jerked away from his touch like fire. Don't touch me, Mark. You chose them over me. The accusation hit him like a physical blow. Anna turned toward the stunned waiter with clear instructions. Call the police if they can't pay their bill. Her voice carried absolute finality and determination now. I'm done being responsible for their financial choices. The waiter nodded nervously and hurried toward the manager's office. Anna walked toward the restaurant exit with measured steps. Her heels clicked against marble like a countdown timer. Behind her, chaos erupted at the Miller family table. Lydia shouted accusations about betrayal and family loyalty. Margaret cried about public humiliation and social embarrassment. Robert demanded the waiter return with payment options immediately. Mark sat frozen, like a statue of indecision. The restaurant manager appeared with obvious concern and authority. Is there a problem with the payment tonight? His professional tone barely concealed growing alarm and worry. Anna paused at the restaurant's glass doors momentarily. She turned back toward the table one final time. The problem isn't payment, sir. It's entitlement and exploitation. Her words carried across the restaurant like a verdict. Good luck collecting from the Miller family tonight. Anna pushed through the doors into Manhattan's cool air. The city sounds felt like freedom after years of suffocation. Behind her, she heard raised voices and heated arguments. The manager was explaining police involvement for unpaid bills. Anna walked down Fifth Avenue with unsteady but determined steps. Her phone buzzed with angry texts from the family. She turned it off without reading their desperate messages. For the first time in 3 years, Anna felt alive. Shaken but liberated, broken but finally free completely. The sweet accommodating wife had died in that restaurant. Someone stronger had been born from her ashes tonight. The turning point had arrived with explosive force. Anna's new life was beginning right now. Anna's hands shook as she turned the apartment key. The familiar hallway felt foreign after tonight's explosive confrontation. Her heels echoed against hardwood floors like gunshots. The silence inside their shared space felt suffocating and heavy. Anna walked directly to their bedroom without turning on lights. Moonlight streamed through windows, casting everything in silver shadows. She pulled her old suitcase from the closet shelf. The leather was worn from college travels years ago, back when her dreams felt possible and achievable, before the Miller family had systematically destroyed her future. Anna began folding clothes with mechanical precision and numbness. Each item felt like evidence of her wasted years. The designer dress Mark had bought for his mother's birthday. She had paid for that too, unknowingly funding her own humiliation. Her phone erupted with buzzing notifications and angry messages. Anna ignored the screen, focusing on her packing instead. But the buzzing continued relentlessly, like angry hornets swarming. Finally, she glanced at the flood of incoming messages. Lydia's name appeared first with predictable rage and indignation. You humiliated our entire family tonight, Anna. How could you? 3 years of generosity, and this is your gratitude. You're selfish, ungrateful, and completely out of line here. Anna laughed bitterly at the word generosity applied backward. Margaret's messages followed with maternal manipulation and guilt trips. Anna dear, I'm so disappointed in your behavior tonight. We treated you like our own daughter always. Your outburst was cruel and completely unnecessary, sweetheart. The false endearments felt like poison in Anna's mind. Robert's texts carried businessman authority and veiled threats. Your conduct tonight was unprofessional and embarrassing, Anna. Consider the consequences of your actions moving forward carefully. Reputation matters in this city more than you realize. Anna deleted each message without responding to their manipulation. Her phone rang with Mark's contact photo smiling back. She declined the call and continued packing methodically. The ringing started again immediately with desperate persistence. Anna turned off her phone and threw it aside. She needed silence to process tonight's emotional earthquake. Her jewelry box held the engagement ring Mark proposed with. The diamond caught moonlight like trapped tears inside crystal. Anna remembered the night he had gotten down on one knee. His promises of partnership, protection, and unconditional love echoed. All lies that had crumbled under family pressure tonight. She left the ring on the nightstand like a period. The end of a sentence that had never made sense. Anna packed her laptop, her books, her few remaining treasures. Everything else belonged to their shared life together. A life built on financial exploitation and emotional manipulation. She could start over with almost nothing but her dignity. The apartment door felt lighter as she pulled it closed. Her suitcase wheels rolled across pavement toward her car. Anna drove through empty Manhattan streets toward her new beginning. She had reserved a studio apartment in Brooklyn hours ago. Small, affordable, and completely independent from the Miller family. The building was modest, but clean and safely situated. Anna climbed 3 flights of stairs with her single suitcase. The studio apartment felt like a palace of possibility. Bare walls, empty rooms, silence that belonged to her alone. She set down her suitcase and surveyed her new kingdom. For the first time in years, every decision was hers. Anna walked to the small kitchen and opened the refrigerator. Empty except for a bottle of cheap wine from previous tenants. She found a coffee mug in the single cabinet. The wine tasted like freedom mixed with bitter tears. Anna sat on the hardwood floor against the bare wall. The events of tonight played through her mind like a movie. The shocked faces when she finally said no to them. The chaos erupting as she walked away from their table. Mark's frozen expression of complete panic and disbelief totally. 3 years of manipulation had ended in one explosive moment. Anna's phone buzzed from inside her purse with renewed energy. She had turned it back on during the drive here. 17 missed calls from Mark appeared on the screen. His desperation was palpable through the digital notification numbers. Anna listened to his first voicemail with grim curiosity. "Anna, please come home so we can talk about this." His voice shook with panic and obvious emotional distress. "I know tonight was difficult, but we can work through this." The second message carried more desperation and pleading tones. "Anna, please answer your phone. I'm worried about you completely. My family didn't mean to upset you so badly tonight." The third message revealed his true priorities and loyalties clearly. "Anna, they're my family. You have to understand that fact. They need our help sometimes. That's what families do together." Anna deleted each message without listening to the rest. His inability to understand felt like a final betrayal. Even now, he defended their exploitation over her suffering. She sipped wine and stared out her new window. Brooklyn stretched below her like an unwritten story. The city lights twinkled with possibilities and fresh starts. Anna felt tears streaming down her cheeks without warning. But these weren't tears of sadness or regret tonight. They were tears of relief mixed with overwhelming gratitude. She had finally escaped their financial prison after years. The sweet, accommodating wife had died in that restaurant. Someone stronger, braver, and more independent had emerged instead. Anna raised her coffee mug in a silent toast. To her new life, her recovered dignity, her financial freedom. The Miller family had lost their personal ATM forever. Tomorrow, she would change her bank passwords and accounts. Tonight she would celebrate her hard-won independence quietly. The studio apartment felt like a sanctuary of possibility. Anna finished her wine and smiled through her tears. For the first time in 3 years, she felt truly alive. The fallout from tonight would continue for weeks ahead. But Anna had already won the most important battle. She had reclaimed herself from their financial exploitation completely. The isolation felt like freedom rather than loneliness tonight. Anna Miller was dead, but Anna was finally reborn. Her new life was beginning with this single moment, and she would never let anyone steal her dreams again. Monday morning sunlight streamed through Anna's Brooklyn apartment windows. For the first time in years, she woke without financial anxiety. Her phone sat silent on the nightstand, all Miller numbers blocked. Anna smiled as she prepared coffee in her tiny kitchen. The silence felt like luxury after years of demanding family calls. At the office, her colleagues immediately noticed the difference. Anna's posture was straighter, her smile more genuine than before. The constant worry lines had faded from around her eyes. Sarah from marketing stopped by with curious, friendly concern. "Anna, you look absolutely radiant today. What's your secret?" Anna laughed with lightness she hadn't felt in 3 years. "I finally learned the magical power of saying no, Sarah." Her coworker raised an eyebrow with intrigued interest and confusion. "No to what exactly, if you don't mind sharing?" Anna considered how much truth to reveal about her situation. "No to people who treat me like their personal bank account." Sarah nodded with understanding recognition of toxic relationship patterns. "Good for you, Anna. Boundaries are essential for mental health." The conversation felt refreshing after years of isolation and secrecy. Anna had forgotten how good healthy relationships could actually feel. That afternoon, Victoria Chen knocked on Anna's office door. As senior vice president, Victoria commanded respect throughout the company. Her perfectly tailored suits and confident presence intimidated most employees. But Anna had always admired her professional strength and leadership. "Anna, do you have a few minutes for coffee?" Victoria's invitation surprised Anna completely, but she accepted eagerly. They walked to the corner cafe in comfortable professional silence. Victoria ordered an espresso while Anna chose her usual cappuccino. "I've been watching your work lately, Anna. Very impressive progress." Anna felt warmth spread through her chest at the praise. "Thank you, Victoria. That means everything coming from you." Victoria leaned forward with mentor-like intensity and genuine interest. "I also noticed you seem different lately, more focused somehow." Anna wondered how much her personal transformation showed at work. "I made some major life changes recently, Victoria. Difficult but necessary." Victoria nodded with the wisdom of someone who understood completely. "Personal boundaries often translate directly into professional confidence, Anna." The observation struck Anna as profoundly accurate and insightful. "I'm still learning how to maintain those boundaries consistently." Victoria smiled with the warmth of shared female experience. "Strength isn't about enduring abuse, Anna. It's about setting limits." The words hit Anna like lightning bolts of recognition. She had spent years confusing endurance with strength completely. "I used to think saying yes made me a good person." Victoria laughed with understanding recognition of that common female trap. "Good people protect themselves from exploitation, Anna. Remember that always." They talked for another hour about career development and growth. Victoria offered to mentor Anna through the senior developer application process. "You have the talent, Anna. Now you need the confidence." Anna felt tears of gratitude threatening to spill over. Professional support felt foreign after years of family financial drainage. That evening, Anna joined a yoga class in her neighborhood. The instructor emphasized breathing and letting go of toxic energy. Anna found herself releasing tension she hadn't realized she carried. Other students smiled and welcomed her to their peaceful community. After class, a woman named Jessica approached with friendly warmth. "First time here. You did great handling those poses tonight." Anna felt grateful for genuine human connection without financial agenda. "Thank you, Jessica. I needed this more than I realized." They walked out together discussing the benefits of mindful movement. "There's a group of us who grab smoothies afterward sometimes." Anna hesitated for exactly 3 seconds before accepting the invitation. For years, social activities had meant spending money she couldn't afford. Now she could participate without calculating every dollar spent carefully. The smoothie shop buzzed with friendly conversation and laughter. Anna found herself genuinely enjoying female friendship again after isolation. She had forgotten how good it felt to be valued for herself, not for her bank account or financial convenience to others. Back home, Anna's blocked phone numbers had attempted 17 calls. She felt a surge of satisfaction rather than guilt or anxiety. Each blocked call represented a boundary, successfully maintained today. Anna opened a bottle of wine and toasted her progress. To blocking numbers, she said aloud to her empty apartment. It feels better than payday, honestly. Her laughter echoed off the walls with pure joy. The woman who had once answered every family financial demand was gone, replaced by someone who protected her own interests first. Anna's laptop displayed the senior developer position application half completed. With Victoria's mentorship, she felt capable of pursuing her dreams again. Her financial accounts were rebuilding slowly but surely now. Every dollar belonged to her alone for the first time. Anna could plan for her future without external interference. The yoga class had helped her process years of suppressed anger. Each breath released another layer of toxic family manipulation. Her Brooklyn apartment felt more like home every single day. The simple space reflected her authentic values and priorities. No expensive furniture purchased to impress the Miller family. Just comfortable, affordable pieces that brought her genuine joy. Anna's phone buzzed with a text from Sarah about drinks. She accepted immediately without checking her bank balance first. Financial freedom meant more than having money in accounts. It meant making decisions based on joy rather than fear. Anna realized she was laughing more frequently than before. Real laughter, not the forced smile she had worn around family. Her coworkers had started inviting her to more social events. They sensed her availability and genuine interest in friendship now. The Miller family's manipulation had isolated her from healthy relationships. Now Anna was rebuilding her social circle with intentional care. She chose people who valued her presence, not her wallet. The difference felt revolutionary after years of exploitation and abuse. Anna poured another glass of wine and smiled broadly. Tomorrow, she would submit her senior developer application with confidence. Tonight, she would celebrate her growing strength and independence. The woman who had once paid $100,000 bills was gone. Anna had reclaimed herself completely and permanently from their exploitation. Freedom tasted better than any expensive restaurant meal ever could. 6 months later, Anna sat in Victoria's corner office overlooking Manhattan. The promotion contract lay spread across the mahogany desk before her. Senior developer position with a 40% salary increase immediately. Anna's hands trembled with excitement rather than anxiety this time. Victoria smiled with mentor pride at Anna's remarkable professional transformation. You earned this promotion completely, Anna, through talent and dedication. Anna signed her name with confident flourishes across the contract. Her signature looked different now, stronger and more decisive somehow. Thank you for believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself. Victoria nodded with the satisfaction of successful mentorship and guidance. You already had the strength, Anna. You just needed to recognize it. Anna walked back to her office, feeling 10 feet tall. Her coworkers congratulated her with genuine warmth and professional respect. Sarah hugged her with sisterly affection and obvious excitement. Drinks tonight to celebrate your promotion, Anna? My treat, absolutely. The word treat no longer carried anxiety about hidden financial expectations. Anna accepted with pure joy and gratitude for authentic friendship. That afternoon, Anna signed another contract at the realtor's office. A 2-bedroom apartment in Park Slope with river views. Her own home, purchased with her own money completely. No Miller family manipulation or interference in the decision process. The keys felt heavy with possibility and newfound independence. Anna walked through her empty apartment like a conquering queen. Hardwood floors stretched before her like blank canvas for dreams. Large windows flooded the space with natural light and hope. She could afford this mortgage comfortably with her new salary. Every room represented choices that belonged to her alone. Anna's phone buzzed with celebratory texts from her yoga friends. Jessica had organized a housewarming party for next weekend. Real friends who valued her presence, not her bank account. The contrast to her past felt like living in a completely different universe. That evening, Anna met her friends at their favorite wine bar. Sarah, Jessica, Victoria, and 3 other women from yoga class. They occupied a corner table buzzing with laughter and conversation. Anna felt surrounded by genuine affection and mutual support. To Anna's promotion and her beautiful new apartment, Victoria toasted. Everyone raised their glasses with enthusiastic celebration and genuine pride. Anna's smile felt natural rather than forced for family approval. These women celebrated her success without expecting financial benefit. The waiter brought their appetizers and poured more wine generously. Anna realized she was paying for herself without resentment. Every dollar spent brought joy rather than financial anxiety. This was what healthy relationships actually felt like in practice. "Anna, you're absolutely glowing lately," Jessica observed with warmth. "Whatever changes you made 6 months ago clearly worked perfectly." Anna laughed with lightness she hadn't felt in years of marriage. "I learned the difference between love and financial exploitation finally." Her friends nodded with understanding recognition of toxic relationship patterns. "Good for you for choosing yourself, Anna, that takes courage." Sarah raised her glass again with feminist solidarity and pride. "To women who refuse to be walking ATMs anymore." The table erupted in laughter and enthusiastic agreement completely. Anna felt tears of gratitude threatening to spill over happily. These women understood her journey without requiring detailed explanations. Their support felt authentic rather than manipulative or conditional. Anna's phone buzzed against the table with incoming call vibration. Mark's name appeared on the screen after 6 months of silence. Her friends noticed her momentary change in expression and energy. "Everything okay, Anna?" Victoria asked with protective concern immediately. Anna glanced at the phone and then at her supportive friends. Mark's number had been blocked for months until recently. He must have gotten a new phone to bypass her boundaries. The old Anna would have answered with guilt and anxiety. But that woman had died in an expensive Manhattan restaurant. Anna smiled and declined the call without any hesitation whatsoever. "Everything is perfect, Victoria. Absolutely perfect right now." She turned off her phone and placed it in her purse. "No interruptions during celebration time with my real family." Her friends beamed with approval at her boundary-setting strength. The conversation resumed with stories and dreams for the future. Anna shared her plans for decorating her new apartment space. Jessica offered to help with furniture shopping next weekend. Sarah suggested a girls' trip to celebrate Anna's professional success. Victoria mentioned a conference where Anna could present her latest project. Every suggestion focused on Anna's growth and happiness completely. No hidden agendas or financial expectations lurked behind their kindness. Anna felt overwhelmed with gratitude for these authentic relationships. The wine bar buzzed with energy and life around them. Other tables filled with friends celebrating their own milestones. Anna realized she finally belonged in this world of mutual support. The Miller family's toxic dynamics felt like a distant nightmare now. Her phone buzzed again with another blocked number calling. Probably Lydia trying to reach her through someone else's phone. Anna didn't even glance at the screen this time. She was too busy laughing at Jessica's story about yoga class. The waiter brought their dinner plates with artistic presentation. Anna's salmon looked perfect, accompanied by roasted vegetables and quinoa. She had ordered exactly what she wanted without checking prices. Financial freedom meant making choices based on preference rather than fear. "This meal is absolutely delicious," Anna announced with satisfaction. Her friends agreed enthusiastically while enjoying their own selections completely. Anna pulled out her credit card when the check arrived. For the first time in years, she was paying for herself willingly. No manipulation, no guilt trips, no forgotten wallets or cards. Just genuine friendship and mutual respect for everyone's financial boundaries. Anna signed the receipt with a generous tip for excellent service. Her signature looked confident and strong across the paper. For the first time, I'm paying for myself, and it feels priceless. The words carried the weight of her complete transformation and liberation. Her friends raised their glasses one final time tonight. To Anna, who found her voice and never looked back. The toast echoed through the wine bar with powerful resonance. Anna had reclaimed her dignity, her finances, and most importantly, herself. This wasn't about revenge against the Miller family ultimately. It was about building relationships based on mutual respect instead. Anna's new chapter was beginning with authentic love and support. The woman who once paid $100,000 bills was finally free.